Alrighty then, welcome back to another week on Hit the Gap podcast. Coming to you today on another public holiday, May Day. We did our first podcast on a Friday last time, but we reverted back to the Monday for this week.
I mean, it's too easy with the public holiday, I guess, but
why not? Big weekend of football, big weekend of events around Townsville. Holy moly.
Busy,
very busy. Well, we will start, though, with the weekend just been. Friday's, obviously, was the first game of the weekend, having the Women's State of Origin on Thursday night, which New South Wales pulled the reins in and sort of struck at the probably last dying minutes. I think they were the field goal, right? It was a field goal that put them in front and then ended up scoring a try.
That's right. They sold themselves short, I think, that's all.
Yeah.
But
yep.
I think it looked... The big thing to take away from this is that it was nice to see a little bit more of an even game and not like a blowout. I feel like when you watch the women's games, you do tend to get a bit more of the blowouts. Some teams are probably a little bit more further along than others, and I know that's not really any different with any other sport, but it seems like a pretty large gap sometimes. Especially when you're looking at rep football. So it's nice to see a bit more of a balanced game.
It was almost an origin that we all know and love. Outside of New South Wales taking the win there, but that's it's now obviously a 3-game series like the men's one. So a lot of anticipation for Game 2 to see if Queensland can tie it up the first. I think it's the first day before Magic Round starts. Actually,
that's right. Yeah, and can I also say that it is about time that it's 3. I mean, made no sense to be 2 anyway, and it was just such a weird decision to do that to them. But
I think last year was probably the first year it was 3 games, and it was perfect. It worked out well. I know it starts slightly earlier, and I think it's only 2 weeks apart or whatever. But so it's so good. But anyway, we'll kick off the week. First game of the round being Friday at 6 p.m. was Bulldogs versus Cowboys down at Accor Stadium there, and Dogs just unfortunately carrying that terrible form into this weekend as well. Cowboys getting their win 28 points to 12 there.
Unfortunate for some.
Yeah, and it was good to see. It was one that I was maybe a little bit concerned about because the last couple of weeks, obviously, we've had those couple games where it just seems like we haven't been able to turn up. We've been getting shellacked, basically. They haven't really been close.
Defensive lapses, and then given up. Yeah.
This one, though, seemed probably, I don't know, from both teams as if the attacking weapons, the sword was put away for most of the game, and they both just went into a defensive position or tried to defend as best they could for most of it. It was, I'd say, somewhat not as exciting. I don't want to go against or go with the narrative of how the game's being officiated at the moment, making it exciting and whatnot, but it seemed very slow and steady from what we've seen the last couple of weeks until, for example, the Cowboys get the Bulldogs retreating in defence sort of thing. As soon as that happened, then you'd have Purdue or even Clifford, someone attacking the line and making...
Chester was probably the biggest one at it.
Yeah, perfect. That's exactly right. Yeah, Chester was perfect at it. A good 20, 30 metres.
I think both him and Reed sort of made him pay every time they got him on the back foot.
Yep.
Whether it was just a meters or position thing or whether it was an actual try, so...
Very good, and Marnie obviously getting the last laugh there up against the Dogs. You could feel there was a little bit of tension. He didn't let it boil over. There wasn't any big mistakes or anything. He did have a couple little blunders, but nothing major that threw the game into a point of concern or anything. But Dogs, I don't know, just very uninspiring, unfortunately. I think Galvin, it's probably fair to say Galvin was one of, if not their best on the field. And, geez, I mean, even then... God, I mean, it wasn't bad, but it's just, I don't know, there's just not a lot of cohesion, it felt like to me. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one, right? Because I think they're seriously missing a kicking game.
Yeah.
I think Galvin's running game and his passing game is phenomenal.
Yep.
And...
Short ball to Preston.
We always make a bit of a joke about the short ball to Preston because it happens almost every game, and it just works. It does. It just
except for this week.
it takes you back to the reminiscent, or it's reminiscent of the JT to Gavin Cooper. It just works. It's cookie cutter.
Yep.
But I think they're seriously missing some aerial threat. that is probably the biggest difference between the attack from when they had Sexton versus when they have Galvin.
Yeah.
And I still find that so strange because they've got Matt Burton. So why are they missing an aerial threat?
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, surely it doesn't have to be every kick, but God, like if you're trying to just, I don't know, do something, just
mix it up, bro.
Let him hit it up the guts and that's it. Just punt it, bomb it down the field, and as long as you chase, it is what it is.
That's it. I mean, the Dogs had absolutely zero success on the on their left side. Matt, he's doing what he's told. He's not going for kicks. He's definitely still chasing. Like, don't get me wrong, he's still playing the 6, but
yeah, I
don't think the 6 is where he should be. I think he should either be at 7, or they should find a place somewhere else in the forward line for him. I'm not sold on 6, but I'm also not really sold on putting him in a forward line either. So I just don't know what they're going to do with him. I really wouldn't mind seeing Galvin play 6 and have Burton play the idea man, and the kicker, because I think he'd be better at it personally. But there's clearly some sort of issue with thought and processing with the way that Seraldo wants to do things anyway. So I mean, it's no secret with the whole Jerry thing and where he wants to put people. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, their hooker issue as well, right? Like,
yeah, Bailey Haywood.
Yeah, like
they don't really have a out and out hooker, which is the problem.
But, which is so weird to stab Marnie in the back over the whole like last year. Like now look what they've just got nothing going right now other than praying the short ball and the running game works.
Yeah. It's very odd to see, I guess, after the meteoric rise we've seen the last 2 years or so of the Dogs turning around their form. It's just, I don't know, it's a bit confusing to see them hit a rut like this at the moment. But I don't know, maybe it's a whole long-term plan thing for them in terms of positional stuff. But
I mean, even with like the biggest reason they were getting wins last year as well was their defense was just unreal.
Yeah,
they just had the most unreal defense.
Yeah.
But now with the new rule set, on the 6 again side of things,
throwing that up into the air,
now their defense has fallen apart.
Yeah.
So
it makes it hard. It's hard for any.
It's hard for any team
to really defend effectively, or at peak. But yeah, it's exactly right.
I mean, even this game itself showed that neither of these two clubs are have adjusted fully to the rule set yet.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough to find a team outside of the Panthers that will adjust to it, I think. But have to wait and see by the end of the year, I guess.
Yep. Yes, unfortunately for the Dogs, they're just in a little bit of a patch of bad form the last couple of weeks and whatnot, but we'll stop dirking on the Dogs for now. So we're only a quarter of the way through the season. They do have plenty of time to turn it around, but they want to do it soon.
And trust me, I'd be happy to sit and do a whole podcast on Seraldo, but anyway.
Dogs lose, you suck. The next game of the round, though, the second Friday night game, was Dolphins versus Storm, and my, oh my.
Surely.
Not 6.
Surely they can't lose 7 in a row.
Oh, man. Yeah. And this was one where, I had them tipped. I did have Melbourne tipped by default because same thing, it's coming, and the week you don't tip them is the week they win. But then, I don't know, just the whole Hughes being out sort of thing, I thought, maybe there might just be... And the Dolphins are sort of haven't been at their best as well the last couple of weeks. But
they haven't been bad.
Yeah, they haven't been bad. I feel like they've just been on that better run or better projection.
Very fringe.
Yeah, they've had a better projection. So just, that was not so much the left fielder, but that was one where I thought, no, I'll go against my judgment on this. And at least that one paid off for me. 28 points to 10 is, I don't know, very disappointing for the Storm. And the bad part about it is they started the game on fire. It was closer to the Storm we know, and we thought, okay, here we are. They might actually get a bit of a roll on here, but I don't know, petered out.
Game started with Farlogo on the pump.
Yeah.
Game ended with Farlogo on the pump.
Yep.
But the game ended with no one else on the pump.
Yeah.
Tough viewing.
Hard carry.
Very tough viewing for the young fella.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, not to take anything away from the Dolphins, obviously, doing very well there. And Jack Bostock making his return. He was playing
Who was incredible
there. Yeah, exactly right. But I don't know. It's just the Storm at the moment are one of those teams where until they are able to figure out what's going wrong, or I don't know, at least get some handle on things, because they're in a tailspin at the moment, it seems. They're just not one there's much more to talk about, because it's the same shit week in, week out. Defense is rather average, and I don't know, completions are out the window. It's just rather tragic.
Man, I would actually really love to see the Dolphins explore putting Cobbo at center.
Oh, yeah, it's not a bad idea. Big body. We know he plays it well.
I seriously feel like he's just another Latrell.
Yeah.
He needs to go to center and have a bit more of a
very well could be,
active game.
Yep.
And give the wing back to Bostock.
Yep. Yeah, that may even be the move eventually. Who knows? Because obviously Trey Fuller as well was named in the centres initially. He sort of was going to fill in and do a spot since Avarillo's been out, but
I just don't see him getting. He needs game time, but I just don't see him getting it until Hammer gets injured.
Unless they were going to keep Bostock out, or that's right, Hammer gets injured and or goes to Origin, whatever, one of the two, if not both. He just can't seem to crack it. Where Bostock, tried and true, and he's good on the wing there as well, especially, and obviously in the centres as well, against Melbourne at least. Just walked back into the side over him, unfortunately.
Which can't be, and to have a performance like that on your first game back as well. Like, we knew he was going to be potent.
Yep.
But he might just be what the Finns need to get a bit more depth back into their game now.
Yeah.
Rather than rely on the Avarillo side.
Yeah, exactly right. But yeah, Dolphins, I think ending a little bit of a losing streak, a couple game losing streak there with that one. So back in the winner's circle, the boys. Saturday's games, Titans versus Raiders. This was my left field tip that didn't pay off. I just thought being up there at Seabus and the Raiders' defense being a bit average lately, and the few outs they've got, I thought, geez, Titans should have a good chance at this. And it didn't look too bad, but yeah, Raiders just, I don't know, pulling their finger out and getting it together in this one, which was a bit different to see. Sometimes, we see them get into a bit of a grind or a bit of an error fest, the Raiders, and then teams start to work them out and walk over them. But yeah, no, they did quite well in this one. I think Sanders had a really good game for a year so far. That's been maybe up and down. He hasn't been horrible, but he hasn't been great. I think he had a really good game in this one. So
yeah, and I think Clarkey nearly baited me this game, bro. I swear. Earlier in the week, he put up a good chat about it.
Yep.
And showed his tips, and I've gone, oh.
It may be an omen.
He sold me.
Maybe an omen.
And on the day, I was like, I'm looking at it, I'm just going, I just can't do it. I can't do it.
In good faith.
Especially after the Storm tip. Like, I bet on the Storm tip because same thing. What did I say last week? What did I say the week prior? Surely they can't lose 5. Surely they can't lose 6. Surely they can't lose 7. I could not do it to myself. I had to renege and go back to the Raiders, and thank God I did.
Yeah.
This game was pretty good stuff from Sanders. I'd have to say I've been very skeptical on his gameplay. I've been skeptical on the gameplay as a whole from the Raiders since they lost Fogarty. They really haven't had no direction.
Yeah.
This was the first sort of game where I sort of saw a bit of direction going on.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Yep.
Hopefully that's a turning point.
Getting a try himself as well, scoring his first try of the season, I believe. I think you pointed that out on Saturday, and just very, very solid. I think very solid from him. So yeah, good on the Raiders, seeming to pull it together, and with a few outs as well. So I think
no Strange, right?
Yeah, Strange was out. That's right. Yeah. I think Strange. I don't know whether it was that ankle injury.
Was it Strange? Is it Strange out?
Yeah, Strange was out. They had Weeks
playing. Weeks was
named
playing,
at 5'8", but then who was the young fella? Weeks. Yep. Yeah.
That's right. Dan Laurie is playing fullback. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. That's what we were confused when we were watching it, whether he was playing 6 or not. But that's right. Yeah.
Which was also the scary prospect for me as well. Like going into it, because I'm like, oh shit. No Strange to help Ethan.
Yep.
To help Sanders rather.
Yeah.
But no, he took control and did well.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. So, yeah, positive signs for the Raiders for sure. The next game, Eels versus the Warriors. This one was at CommBank Stadium there, and, geez, it was like the end scoreline's a bit tragic, but this one looked all right up until probably start of the second half, or just after the start of the second half.
Looked like good competition.
It was a competition, yeah.
I feel like we were all sort of sitting there going, doesn't the Eels have like half a team, bro? What's going on?
Yeah, exactly.
The Wilds have this like phenomenal roster.
Yeah.
And not just phenomenal roster on the field, but even their bench is stacked.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But they took control. They took control back in the end, and they stuck it to them. But really credit to the Eels for actually still like having a bit of hunger,
being in the fight. Yep.
I feel like when you're in a situation like the Eels where you lose so many of your big hitters and have them on long-term injuries, you sort of go into your shell a bit and you sort of give up.
Easy to do.
You just show up and play your game, go home, don't think about it, go back to training.
Yep.
But this was they got fight, man. I feel like they can seriously pick some teams off if people underestimate them, I think.
And that's what Riles was saying a few weeks ago, where they got absolutely hammered, and it was outside of the scoreline. His major issue was the whole like not seeing the fight in them to even like compete, not so much to not be thrash, but just to at least keep competing. And he said it looked like it just died off. He didn't see it at all. So yeah, it is good to see the fact they've turned that around despite still losing. So positive things hopefully coming up for the Eels. Hopefully a little bit of a turn of form. But yeah, I'm not minding the Volkman.
Man, Volkman is insane.
Yeah, the Volkman combo there is doing well, I think. I mean, again, scoring another try for himself.
Got a double.
Yeah, I mean, far out. They've only got Pezzett for the year, so who's to say toward the end if Volkman's doing real well, he doesn't get given the keys,
I hope he does, because I genuinely think this is like it's crazy to me that they've managed to suddenly out of thin air pull another Blaze Talangi.
Yeah.
First of all, how could they? I don't know. I still am pissed that they let him go. I can't believe they let Blaze go, especially to the Panthers of all places. But they should have been like spending everything on him. But now it doesn't feel so bad with Volkman. Like I think he's a fantastic and almost a like for like.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And coming from the Warriors, I know he got a bit of an opportunity, and then I think he got injured possibly, and ended up coming to the Eels. And we hadn't seen much. We'd seen maybe a couple glimpses of him here and there filling in when his first year at the Eels, and we hadn't seen him since. And now he's getting another shot. Yeah, he's definitely taking it with both hands, making the most of it. So
100%.
And I will say, I think Jackson Ford probably, maybe the least smokiest smoky for New South Wales team when selection comes now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Probably my Ford of the year.
Yeah, he has been one of the Ford Jackson. The
Ford of
the year for sure.
Big time.
Right up there with Twile.
Twile, and probably, providing he keeps it up, Jason Tamalolo as well.
Oh yeah, that's another one. That's a smoky.
We didn't really cover that either, but he's also playing very well right now.
Again, hitting that like liquor form of back in his prime, being utilised differently, but yeah, definitely.
Whoever worked on his knees in the off season, can you do mine?
Bionic.
Cheers.
The last game on Saturday, and this was one that was a competition wholly, Roosters versus the Broncos, and it was all Roosters for most of it, but Broncos just staged that massive comeback.
Speaking of not giving up.
Yeah.
And having hunger.
Yep.
Having desire.
Yep.
I can't believe this is the game Patrick Carrigan scores in.
Yeah, exactly right. The second half reprisal, second half comeback for Broncos was insanity. It was only right at the end there they sort of got held up, pipped out of it.
I genuinely believe Broncos win this game.
Yep.
If Staggs doesn't have a brain snap.
Yep.
I think they only lose that game because of that brain snap. I think the score.
Yeah.
At that 70th minute mark.
Yep.
Remains at. What was it? I think 32-24, I think it was.
Yeah.
I think the score is still that score at the 70th minute mark if it wasn't for Staggs. I think Staggs totally fucked that game.
Yeah, the throw on the elbow or the forearm in the tackle, which, I don't know. I don't know why it got picked up in this game because he does it quite often. You see it a bit, but it's such a pivotal moment. And to rub salt in the wound, you had Radley going around doing... Maybe that's why Radley got away with so much, but who knows? I
mean, I personally don't even really believe... Like, is it grubby? Yes. Should it have given a penalty? Yes.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Was it sin binnable?
Yeah, exactly.
Because did it ruin the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. I truly believe this ruined the game.
Yeah.
And it made me not want to watch the next games of the round, which for what it's worth, I'm very glad that I did watch the next games on the Sunday.
Yeah.
But I left watching that game feeling very like a bit sour on refs. So,
yeah. It was a very odd one, and not just refs, but I don't know, whoever makes the decisions afterwards, because if anyone, I think it was yesterday, watched...
Because Roosters got away with so much, and don't get me wrong, I tipped Roosters as well.
Yeah.
I tipped Roosters, and I was even punting majority on Roosters.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter. Like it felt bad to watch the amount that the Roosters got away with.
Yeah, exactly.
And even from a home game advantage standpoint, that was pretty shit.
Yeah. And you're watching Radley on Fox League, doing a bit of pre or mid game commentary, and when the producers sort of sent the word through that match review committee will not be fining him or will not be charging him with anything after 4 separate incidents, that any one of those could have seen him ruled on the same as Staggs, and any year prior, you would have seen him for any one of those miss maybe 3 weeks or something.
3+, yeah.
So I don't know, something very weird going on there. And
Victor breathed?
Yeah.
Senbin?
Yeah, exactly.
2 weeks.
Something very weird going on there, very inconsistent, and I don't know, it is what it is. But anyone that watches NRL knows that that's wrong. So
that's wacky.
Yeah. So very, very odd game in terms of officiating, you're right, and everything afterwards. But a lot of fight show by the Broncos, which they've had ever since having such a disjointed team or a lot of people injured. They've started to pull it back and have maintained that. So hopefully they can keep that up. That doesn't dishearten them too much. Sunday's games. Now this one, talking about games with no defence, all attack. That's this one.
Punters are stoked.
Knights versus Rabbitohs. Yeah, anyone can score. Anyone can get a double. Knights absolutely running a muck until the Rabbitohs, I don't know, the Rabbitohs just pulled their finger out a bit and staged a 20-point comeback or something?
More than that. Jeez, what was it?
Look, let's have a squiz. So, Cody Walker got that first one in the second half in the 42nd minute, and it was
24.
Yeah, every 5 to 10 minutes or so here we're getting a try from them, and Walker, Trell and Johnson instrumental in almost all of those. So Cody Walker getting a double as well, obviously, but Knights just hanging on and Mooney securing it with that try right at the end in the 73rd minute.
Trell is really having some sort of season.
He is in, you're right, like a purple patch of form.
It's not just good form, but like this is like Origin terrifying centre form. Like
it is, but it's like he's playing Origin currently,
Like every game is Origin for him. It's wild.
Yep.
The last 4 weeks he has just been an absolute monster.
Beast.
Like
yep.
he's probably my favourite centre, which is a wild statement because it's hard to find a fan of Trell because of the way he acts sometimes.
Yeah.
But man, he is seriously probably he's with the hero for me.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Right up there. Yep. Yeah, definitely. Try scoring machine. He's a try assist machine. He's a try completion machine, kicking goals and that afterwards as well. But yeah, exactly right. To not see him get picked for Origin, it's impossible at this point. Massive comeback, and it was just in the dying minute, I think, or minute and a half, where they got shut down on that play, and it was looking for all money, like it was going to pay off, like the last 4 tries did, going down the left edge. But the Knights just muscled up and wrapped him up there. And we saw the Cody Walker we all know and probably not love, but after being so good, scoring 2 tries and setting so many up, the grub in him come out, and just he got upset that after I think they barreled, it was either AJ or Latrell, they barreled out, over the sideline, and much like either one of them both do every single time they do the same thing, someone stood over Troll, and Cody come running from inside the field, which you like to see your man defend your other men, but come and shoved someone in the back, tried to shove him over from behind. Classic old Cody Walker coming in from behind.
Yep.
Got a bit upset there, and whatever. There's a bit of hiss-hoss in the
Put
game.
a little dampener on it, but
it did, yeah.
This game was still edge of seat stuff, pretty
100%.
much.
To see the
80th
Knights,
minute,
to see the Knights with a full team back, basically, to see them fire, it's like round one. It's scary to see what they're going to do for the rest of the season as long as they all stay fit. So.
And Ponga was incredibly hard to handle.
Very.
For a guy coming back off injury, I thought he was going to be so just missing.
Yeah.
But he was anything but. He was everywhere.
Yep.
He gave Sharp so much space.
Yep.
He was hard to contain no matter where he was on the field. Trey Mooney had so much impact as a result. Same with Bradman Best. They had so much impact as a result of Ponga and his movement in this game. They deserve this win big time. Big time.
Be good to see now that everyone's back in their places. Good to see in their positions. Good to see what they can do. The next game, Sharks versus Tigers, 52 points to 10. Yeah, this one was just a try-scoring fest for doubles for everyone on the Sharks, basically. Same strat, go far left, and you'll get a point. And it was the young fella on either on debut or hasn't had much game time in first grade. Rather,
pretty sure it's debut. Yeah. I felt terrible for this kid because I knew straight away that they were just going to run at him.
Yeah.
But they did so much more than that. They ran at him. They kicked at him. They just bullied him all game. From word go, they just really bullied him. And even though Tigers tried to fight back. Then they lost Dewey, and they just lost all, which is strange. I thought they wouldn't lose so much at attacking prowess when they lost Dewey.
Yep.
Because Jock Madden he was magic in those last few matches he's played.
Yeah.
Replacing Luai.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought they would make much more impact, but turns out Dewey does make all the impact by the looks of things. Wow. They seriously. Falatino, I think his name is Falatino Tavana. That's his name.
Tavana, yeah. Yep.
Look, I don't know if it's a first grade ender for the kid, but it's going to be tough to get a spot in a first grade side again for him after what we watched happen to him.
Yeah.
To end the first half with 4 errors. And I think it was 4 tries scored against him. That was get him out real quick. Just get him out. I mean, you've got Skelton sitting on the bench. Get him out. And he came back on, and he stayed back on, and Skelton didn't get played at all.
Yeah.
Don't know what Benj was up to there. Don't know if he thought maybe he needed just a chat and see if he can fix it.
Yeah.
Not good.
He does like to put faith in his players and that, but yeah, you're right. If you're getting run over that hard,
this one was bad.
Maybe next week, have another go next week, sort of thing, and stem the bleeding. But yeah, they didn't.
This is that is if he doesn't hope. I don't know if this is going to be you can't even build confidence off that. There's no confidence in that. That was
exactly.
That was rough. It was a rough watch because he just got I think he had 7 tries against him and 6 errors to end the game after 80 minutes of play.
Yeah.
I think he made I hope no one picked him in fantasy. Surely no one bought him for fantasy, but I think he had 1 point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is wild for 80 minutes of play with 1 point, but I felt terrible for him because it was just straight bullying. The amount of balls that got sent his way that he just dropped, the amount of 3-on-1 situations he got put in where he just got bullied by Iro and Wilton. It's particularly Iro. Iro just really made mincemeat of that poor kid. So, hopefully he gets another run at some point, but probably not for a while, I imagine.
Yeah. It's just one of them ones where some days it's not your day. It's just unfortunate that it was on debut. For him. So. Yeah, Tigers just, I don't know, not a bit disjointed, but that whole second half, man, for a majority of it, they just could not get out of their half. They could not get into the Sharks' half.
They got out of their half once.
Yeah, yep.
And they immediately threw an intercept.
Yeah, made an error. That's exactly
They immediately
right.
threw an intercept for Nico Hines.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know. Strike it up to an off match for them, I guess, maybe. But, very, very odd for what we've seen. And Sharks, it could have gone either way. We all know how the Sharks are. It's been like that since they've been a top 4 contender. They could turn up or they could just choke. And, this one, they turned up and were on fire all across the park here.
Prayers for Dewey.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully... it was a shoulder, was it? Shoulder?
It looked AC? The way he landed. I'm saying AC joint.
Yeah,
but no news yet.
Yep. So we'll see how bad that is. And usually they're not too long of a thing, depending on the grading. But hopefully he doesn't need too much. Just a little bit of a rest, and he'll be good because he's been on fire this season, 100%. Last game of the round, Panthers versus Seagulls. Now, this one was rather surprising. It was, not surprising because Seagulls have been very good under Foran, but it was such a low-scoring affair between the two, and only 2 points in the end. Panthers 18 points to Seagulls 16, and it went right down to the last dying couple minutes where there nearly was a break down the right-hand side, which would have seen the Seagulls in front or at least tie it up. Is worth noting young Joe Walsh playing in the halfback.
He's incredible.
Now, I don't know. I'm missing something, obviously, but what happened to Fogarty? Because he was an out.
He had a groin injury.
Okay.
It was a groin injury.
Must have been in the weekend leading up or the training, maybe, or maybe they were just seeing if he'd be fit. But, debuting Joe Walsh, and, man, he did very well. This is the exact opposite in terms of a debut and form and that, where... he just did everything he had to do. He didn't overplay his hand too much. Probably the one time that I think maybe it was probably more so the setup to it. But right at the end, he went to try kick a 2-point field goal to tie it up, and it didn't really pay off. He didn't get the strike on it. But everything else I thought was rather impressive. My favourite was he passed a little inside ball to, trying to think of who it was. It ended up leading to a try where he had his hips and his head, tilted his head all the way back like it was a long ball out the back, but it was just a short ball inside. And
his sleight of hand is incredible.
It was amazing. His
sleight of hand and confidence for a kid that young who's just on debut as well, like you said. Wow, incredible. Was it Bullymore? Was it Lehigh that got it?
I think Bullymore scored in the end. Bullymore scored, but it went out to Olakau'atu. Olakau'atu made the break and then back inside to Bullymore. I'm pretty sure that was the play, but it was seamless. It was almost like a video game or something like that. Like it was programmed. But great job there. Seagulls first loss under Foran. That's their run come to an end, only just. But
2 points to the Panthers though.
Yep,
that's a great showing. That's a great showing.
Impressive, and in the form they're in at the moment.
Fuzzball real, bro.
And Panthers weren't a slouch of a team to play in this game. That's the thing. So, I think across the field, Nathan dominating again. Jenkins had another all right game, but they just really in their methods, I guess what Panthers do, they stuck to it and ground it out, and they just got away with the wind in that one there.
I touched on it earlier, but I seriously think this is the only team that has actually genuinely adjusted to the pace of the game.
Yeah, it's almost like it's programmed for them, or it benefits them, sort of thing.
I thought this would be definitely more of a Storm meta as well.
Yeah.
They've always been they've always been the people that were so good with play the ball speed.
Yeah. Yep.
And now they're the worst player the ball speed.
Yep.
So I don't know what happened there, but it's good stuff from Penrith, and I hate to say that, but it's good stuff.
Yeah, good footy to watch at the very least. Yeah, they're back. They're dominating again. Woohoo! But
it does give ideas on what the other clubs need to work on.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. With that, though, we will jump on to this weekend's games, have a quick preview of them. Thursday night, we've got our Thursday night games back this week. Dolphins versus the Bulldogs. I'm thinking, and from seeing the obvious bet, seeing what both teams have been dishing up the last couple of weeks, Dolphins have got to get this, but this is up at Suncorp too, which may make it a bit rough. We saw the Dogs go up and get pumped there the other week, but I think... Yeah, I don't know. I think the Dogs are really... This is a game the Dogs have got to stamp stamp their authority and do something. They need the win. Might not be a big win, but they need the win in this. I don't know whether they can get it done.
For me, this is definitely Finns.
Yeah, they're just too disjointed.
I think with Bostock back, if they make that little adjustment change like that I mentioned, I suppose it doesn't really matter. I think as long as Bostock's on the field in some facet on that left edge, they're going to probably cause a lot of damage to the Bulldogs. I think Cowboys saw a lot of success on the right. I think Bulldogs will in turn stack their left side defence.
Yep.
Against the Finns, in anticipating that Bostock will cause damage.
Yep.
But then you're going to see Averillo run a fuck.
Yeah. Exactly.
And Averillo is going to want to have a good game against them because it's just old blood. It's just bad blood. It is what it is. Yeah. So I think Finns for this one for me personally.
Yep. Yeah, good call. I'll be going Dolphins as well. Dogs just, it's a one that before they get into too big of a tailspin, they just need to, I don't know, get a grip on it, do something, change the game plan somehow. Friday's games at Gosford there. Okay, so it is, that's down south, yeah. So it's a Roosters home game, this one will be. Roosters versus Titans, and God, I don't know. Roosters are just flying too much. I know Marky Mark is going to be out, but I don't know. Oh, that's one thing also, before we move on too far. Cody Ramsey making
he played
return.
Fantastic.
Yeah, making his return to rugby league.
That's seriously one of the greatest stories. If you go and look that shit up, that is serious. Look,
inspiring. Yeah,
inspiring, and credit to the Dragons for keeping him on and doing their best to help him.
Rehab. Yeah,
it sucks they couldn't keep him.
Yeah,
but this is honestly probably a better outcome for Cody. And he gets to be at a club now. I mean, and fair go as well. Like, he loves the Dragons, and he would want to be at the Dragons if he could be.
Yep.
But this is probably a better outcome for him. I think he'll become a far better player under the Roosters, in my opinion.
Yep. And like, I gotta give him credit there. When he was interviewed post match, he was really emotional. You could hear it in his voice how shaky he was and that. But he did give props, or he did mention how the Dragons initially helped him with all his rehab and all that, looked after him. So he didn't forget to mention them in talking about how good the Roosters have been to him and helping him get back into the game, giving him the opportunity. So, it was very, very good.
Oh, it's such a good story. It's like the Herbert story, man. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, exactly. Which, back to obviously this weekend's thing, talking about Marky Mark being out. I think that presents another opportunity, yet another opportunity for Ramsey to stay in the side. But Roosters versus Titans, it's got to be Roosters in this one, man. I think they're just starting to find that form. They're all starting to click. DCE and Walker, albeit still not the greatest combo. I think they're getting something happening there where
I think on individual effort alone, they'll beat the Titans, unfortunately for them.
Yeah, the formula's working. Yeah, that's exactly right. Titans just still like looking better than the start of the season.
Still trying to find combinations, though, eh?
Yeah, and I think, again, when you're talking about individual form, I think a lot of it is coming from Campbell and Kinney and that, and when the rest of it isn't clicking, unfortunately, the whole team sort of suffers a bit. So, I think Roosters in that one. And the second game on Friday, another Friday game for the Cowboys up here at Queensland Country Bank Stadium, is Cowboys versus Eels. This one could be a little bit of a red herring, I think, even though we have seen the Eels taking L's lately.
Eels love Country Bank, though.
They do, yeah, and they have been sticking it out. They've been staying in the fight, so that's where we tend to, get a bit lax.
These are the games where we normally drop them.
Yeah, exactly.
Just because we go in with a bit of confidence and we get pumped for it.
Ones we should win, and ones after the couple of weeks we've had a bit of a run, or we are winning games, sitting in sixth, not comfortably, mind you. A loss or a couple of losses will throw us out far, but I've still got faith we got it. We can do it. It just on the proviso that they don't get too cocky or get a bit too lax. We've had, obviously, we'll talk about it after, but the news about Drinkwater signing with the Dragons, etc. But he's still been in good form, I think, considering it's not like a form out the window or he's not trying as hard. It'll all come down to that for me. So I'll tip the Cowboys, but
I've got cows. do think there's a bit of a mismatch for them, which is good. I think the Cows do have the advantage here as well, particularly in the forward pack.
Yep.
Providing that they actually show up like they have been the last few weeks.
Yep.
They just got to make sure that they don't get frustrated and let it get to them. I mean, Mitch is going to be in the ref's ear all night. It is what it is.
Always, yeah.
He's always got the arms up. He's always in the ref's ear. It's just that's the way it is, and they need to deal with that.
That's the standard, yeah.
And they need to make sure that they just keep it simple.
Yep.
I think they win here if they keep it simple. But if they try to get cute and get cranky as a result, they're going to get punished.
Yeah, exactly. Saturday's games, Dragons versus the Knights. It's hard to tip the Dragons at all. You know, they haven't shown. I mean, they had the bye last week, so we've only had 1 or 2 games with them, with Dean Young as the coach. 1 game, rather, sorry. But, yeah, they just haven't really shown much fight or much.
I got to be honest, it's kind of crazy the odds are that short. Like, you look at the Titans game where it's like blown out to $6 already nearly.
Yeah.
And this one's still that short.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kind of surprised at that.
It might be, I think it's probably based off coming off the back of the bye, but I don't know if it does them any good, unfortunately.
No. With Ponga back and how good he is right now, no way.
Yeah, the Knights, after what we saw last week, full team, all firing, all ready to go. Dragons still not sure on what they want to do, or I don't know, just
not sure on what they can do.
not everyone on the same page, all firing, or yeah, you know, it's the effort just seemingly isn't there, unfortunately. So
this feels like a free 2 points for the Knights.
Yeah, yep, be a Knights tip for me as well. Rabbitohs versus the Sharks being the second game at a core. This could be a big one if the Sharks do carry it on from this week. A bit of confidence in that. They will definitely take it to the Rabbitohs here, but Rabbitohs the favourites. Same thing. I don't know. They just started that game not as great last week, the Rabbits, but brought it home. The form is still where it's been the last month or two, so there's every likelihood they can do it, and there's every likelihood the Sharks can get stomped.
I think the Sharks have actually lost every single away game so far this season.
Okay, yep.
Or I think they've won one. They've won one away game.
Yep.
They've won every single home game.
Yep.
I don't like their odds against the Bunnies this week, especially after this last week where they were a bee's dick away from winning.
Yep.
I think Bunnies will come out firing real hard here.
Yep. This is going to be my left field tip of the week. I'm going to go Sharks just based, and I think it's going to be a close game. I do think maybe if they continue that form on, they can just get into that grind with the Rabbitohs and probably be another one where it's a 2 or 4 point game in it. But it will not shock me to see the Rabbitohs come out with for vengeance and fire in this one.
I think they're going to really try and punish Aden Fanua-Blake as well. I think they're going to target Aden. The last 2 or 3 weeks, I think, for me, watching Aden Fanua-Blake, he is very, very below par from what we've seen.
Suboptimal for sure, dude.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yep.
Whether the Sharks they're not sure how to use him. They're not playing him correctly. Who knows? I think they're going to make the middle get punished big time.
Yeah,
I think they're going to punish the middles for sure.
Yep. Alrighty, in the last Saturday game, Seagulls versus the Broncos, and I think this is set to be a great game. It's down there at 4 Pines, so Seagulls will be looking again for a bit of revenge in their close loss, all firing and whatnot. Broncos again, same thing. They'll be wanting a bit of vengeance after that, so this could be game of the round, in my opinion. I am going to go... I'm going to go Seagulls. I know they're the favourites, but I'm going to go Seagulls.
This is definitely the smoky of the round, I think. But I'm going Seagulls as well. Broncos have got 14 people in the injury ward, and we'll cover it all after, I imagine. But I struggle. I really do struggle, especially if Joey Welsh is going to be playing that good. I think he's the new King Welsh, mate. I just don't see. I don't see the Broncos. That's just. Oh my god! We just saw a glimpse. Ward. We just saw like a 1 second glimpse of the injury ward. By the way, but I just don't. I can't see the Broncos winning. I can't.
Yeah, there's a new Walsh in town in this one. This will be. I'm sure that'll be part of the promo for it. The Walsh competition. But yeah, there's a new Walsh in town. I think Mind you, it's impressive. It's very impressive how well the Broncos have been doing, considering, even though they haven't had a heap of wins, considering with all their injuries and outs and that. But yeah, I think Sea Eagles will just.
The outs just keep coming, man.
Yeah, every week.
Every week, it's like they get one back and they lose two.
Yeah,
it's unreal.
Yeah.
Now to lose Renault again, it's like, oh, bro. And Renault never gets knocked out, bro. What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. It's the one injury or one thing you wouldn't think you'd see him sitting down for. Tom Duffy, your time to shine again.
And he's been good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
he's been good.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that's going to be enough to beat Fosball.
Yeah. Yep. Sunday's game, Storm versus the Tigers. This one, surely not 7. Surely not 7.
Surely not 8. Oh, God.
Surely not 7 losses in a row. Tigers, man. Tigers for me, but this is the one, the Storm.
If there's going to be one it's got to be this one, right?
Yeah.
Sure, if Dewey is still out,
Yep.
Surely it's got to be this one, right?
Yep. Tigers are, Melbourne are playing in Melbourne, I should say, so it's a home game for Melbourne. That's why they're the favourites here.
They have lost all their home games this year.
Yeah, Tigers are, I don't know, they've got to be wanting some sort of revenge here. And we've seen the Dewey-Madden combo.
Which goes amazing.
Yeah, we just haven't seen tested and true the Madden and Luai combo. So
other than this last game, which was
not good. So yeah, maybe
it's hard to judge this. It's hard to judge that last game. They were already on the back foot when he came on, and it was just
Yep. So it could go either way. It could be really bad, like it was, or after a bit of practice and whatnot, it could be solid. So yeah, this isn't as easy as I thought it would be. I think
this is the Smoky.
I think you'd have to think it would be West Tigers, but yeah, it could be the Storm. I'm going to say Tigers against, just for the sake of it. I'm going to tip them here, but I'll probably, in reality, at the end of it, tip the Storm. This will be the one I'll give them faith back in.
I am willing to cop more punishment. I'm going the Storm again. They surely can't lose 8 in a row, please.
Put it all on purple. You've
done it. Please.
Done it all year so far anyway.
Fuck.
Yeah, hopefully they can turn it around, after, obviously, last week's announcement of Craig Bellamy with his neurodegenerative prognosis or whatever, like he's getting treatment for that and whatnot. Not something obviously they've come out and said, not something that'll affect him immediately in the immediate future and his ability to coach and whatnot, but still massive nonetheless for such a powerhouse and such a big thing to be dealing with. It's you could see where it might play a part in the team's downfall or how the team's doing.
They just can't take a trick this year, really.
Yeah.
They really can't.
Yep.
Between just like the Tui thing, the Katoa as well.
Yep, Hughes out now as well.
Ellie, man, they just it's really sad.
Very unfortunate.
It's always sad to see injuries, but it's so much worse to see it happen.
Yep.
Like in the way that they have happened at Melbourne.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. So I think I'll go Melbourne in this one. I'll tell you Tigers now, but I'll probably go Melbourne in this one just before kickoff or something. And last game of the round, Raiders versus Panthers. This is there in Canberra. Geez, hard to pick the Raiders in this in comparison, to how the Penrith have been going. But I think this one could be another close game. Don't know whether it's going to be as good as what Manly dished up, but yeah, I think I'll go Penrith in it, but I do think Raiders. I don't know when Huddy Young's back, whether he's getting this week or next week he comes back into the side, which will be a boost. But I think Penrith in this one for me, man.
I just can't not pick him, and I know that the Bulldogs did wacky things to them, but I think that was just an off week. I don't think we'll see that again until Origin.
Yeah. Yep, 100%. We'll jump on and have a bit of a look here at the injury casualty ward that we touched on for the Broncos. That's 15 players out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know whether you'd count Grant Anderson as a main. We'll say Grant Anderson's possibly a mainstay player, but 5,
he would
6,
be
7. That's 7, 8. Maybe 8 of their top 17, general top 17, or in and around the 17.
And there's still 2 on there that are not listed actually as well.
Yep. So Staggs will be on there, he'll be suspension, not injury, but Yep, that is huge for the Broncos. The Rabbitohs of the last couple of years, with their integral injuries and that going on, which is really rough. But Yeah, insane for any team, to be combating or dealing with.
It literally feels like looking like. Do you remember when, I think it was maybe 3 or 4 seasons ago? Was it when Rabbits had like eight injuries?
Yep.
There was 8 people on the bench that were all indefinite.
Yep.
Like, or indefinite or season. Like,
and mainstay players too.
Yeah.
People.
Such a rough go.
Yeah.
Such a rough. I truly don't know what Bronx are going to do to pull a win.
Yeah.
This week, but it'll be a miracle if they do.
Yeah. Yep. Or inspiring if so. Around the league, though, outside of that, I think in terms of news, like the big things have been Flano getting sacked a couple of weeks ago from the Dragons. Dean Young stepping up and taking the head coaching role from assistant to head coach for the rest of the season, I think. Interim coach. And also Mick Ennis getting told, hey, look, we're going to do something here, and you're not going to be part of it, or we're trying to sort things out here, and we don't think you'll be part of it. So they've let him go as well. It's a 2-for-1 combo there.
He even said, "There's nothing. It's not Mick Ennis. It's us."
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Fair go.
Yep.
If you got to step aside, let changes try and happen.
Yep. Hopefully. Hopefully it pays off for him and they see some sort of form turnaround. Dean Young's got a big job ahead of him, because if he wins any games, it's the first loss is going to come down hard on him, and if he keeps losing, then he's going to be seen as part of the problem. So, I don't know. He's basically fighting an uphill battle here. Hopefully they can at least sort something out with their team, maybe blood some young guys or find some sort of talent. They debuted Cade Reed in that Roosters game, the Anzac Day game, and didn't go horrible, but didn't go great either. So, you got a whole season, rest of the season to turn it around, hopefully. And joy for all of us at home. We get to hear Flanagan back on commentary at some point somewhere, I imagine, until he can scam a coaching gig somewhere else. So, Pong is signing on with the Knights till 2030 was another big one. So
massive. Just
before he'd come back from injury, and there has been a lot of talk the last couple of years of him maybe wanting to either move to Union.
I thought he was getting poached for sure, bro.
Yeah.
I thought it was donezo.
Talks about the Roosters, contingency for when Teddy retires, going to the Roosters or something. Just a fair bit of talk all around, but he's committed and stayed, and he's been there for the long term since he left the Cowboys. It's been his club. He's going to make it his own. So, good news for Knights, especially seeing they seem to have just found a good combo now with what they've got. It's positive to see him stay out of the bottom 4. You know what I mean, or at least keep making finals, keep that run into the finals. So. Good stuff. And the other signing news, I guess, the new stuff is with the PNG Chiefs. Now, it was funny. It leaked first of all that Johnston was signed with them, which we know it's believable. We could all see it coming. But
he even said before any of this, if I get spoken to, I'm going.
Yeah,
he already said it. And fair play. He's a proud PNG.
That's exactly.
Fan, so,
and what a way to end your career.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yep. Instead of going over to the Super League and playing, you're staying within the bounds of the NRL anyway, close to home, but doing what you love and also representing your heritage.
That's
he
big.
Plays for it internationally, but playing it a week in, week out. You know what I mean? Playing for him there. Great. But then what I think was probably maybe tactically done, they announced the signing of Jerome Luai the day after. That was also leaked, but a day or two after they announced it officially. There were talks of Luai going over there and checking out the facilities and whatnot, and I thought, he's having a look, but it'd be hard to see him leave the Tigers and everything that he's built and he's been helping build, and their form turning around. I thought, geez, it'd have to be a big pay packet, and sure enough, it was. Yeah, he did. He has signed with them. It's official. So from 2028, their first year in the NRL.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, 100%. He's not breaking a contract or doing anything. He's actually activating his option to stay at the Tigers next year. So really, his contract ends this year, and if he didn't want to be at the Tigers, then he could activate it and go somewhere else. But he's choosing to stay there and see his contract, his initial thing out, and then he's off to PNG.
And I actually am on board with Luai. I'm not really one to be on Luai's side generally because I just don't like the way he acts sometimes. but I think this is a pretty genuine decision. I feel like, especially, I mean, people have been drawing comparisons between him and Galvin, the way that Galvin was treated outside, like in the Tigers. But
yeah,
I think Galvin was a massive jerk for doing what he did.
Different scenario.
I think it was a very, very different scenario. This has nothing to do with pride or heritage.
Yeah.
I think that Luai has made a very mature decision to go and do something for himself and for his heritage.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to go and make a difference. I think the other big thing here is that this also paves the way for this club. I think when I first saw the Chiefs were coming into this, I said, you could throw double the money. No one is going over there.
Yeah, who wants to sign? Yeah.
No one's going there. And with him doing this, everyone's going to be going,
Yeah, yep. That's what's going to bring people.
That's right.
That's the draw card.
I think no one wants to go to a side where there's potentially, you're not going to be enjoying yourself outside of the game or inside of the game. Now I think everyone's going to go, okay, well, if a player of that stature is willing to do that, this is going to be a big thing. This is going to be a big deal. It's going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
I might go and have a look too.
Yep. They've already single-handedly beat out the Dolphins and also the Bears, who are coming into the comp before them.
That's the flip side of this coin, is that this probably
hampers the Bears a bit.
Big time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bit. I think it's a lot.
Yeah.
I think if you've got a ton of players who are going, I need a new club, I want to go somewhere, you get offered the milli to go to PNG, or the 500 to go to the Bears.
Yep.
What are you going to do, bro?
Yeah, you go on there, especially
traveling the same distance.
Yeah,
that's worth noting. You're traveling the exact same distance.
Yep.
Same flight time.
Yep.
Just one you get in double pay.
Especially if you know what I mean, it's only for a year or something like that. Like, why would you bother? But yeah, good for the Chiefs. It's very good, very handy, and good to see them. They're going to come into the comp with some big names, and there will be more. There's no way there won't be more. So
there'll be big names now.
Very positive.
Like Luai's signing is bigger than, like, Johnson's is big as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just a winger.
Yep. Yep. And it's good. It's good for optics and stuff, and good for the fan base. I think the Johnson signing.
You sign a good half. That means a lot to not just the fans, not just the NRL, but to all the players of the NRL. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
That's a big lure.
Yep.
Huge lure. Bait included.
100%. And talking about signings, last one I think we'll probably touch on will be
the dagger.
Yeah, Drinkwater.
The dagger in the heart.
Drinkwater seeing out his contract. Well, not seeing out his contract, seeing out the season with the Cowboys, I meant to say. And then moving on to the Dragons from 2027, off to play with Val. He'll play fullback at the Dragons for sure. Getting offered around $900K a season, I think. So, we were never going to match that, or probably even close to it. So
it hurts, but I get it.
For him, good, smart decision in terms of setting himself and his family up, keeping a very lucrative income there.
Gets to go back and hang out with Val frequently, more frequently, and focus more on Players Club as well. So, I don't hate it, but it hurts.
Hopefully be part of the turnaround for them, I guess, the Dragons, some sort of, because they haven't had a really big signing in that long, and this is their big signing.
Yeah, I mean, and
even Gutho, debatably.
I'm kind of stoked about the Keon one for them as well. The Keon signing is kind of big too.
Yeah, yep.
I think that will help them a lot.
Yep.
And I think he'll work off the back of Luciano very fantastically. That left side is going to be potent, having Drinky playing off Luch and Keon in the middle.
Yep.
I think that's going to give a lot of go forward for them, but time will tell. But hurts, but I understand it.
Yep. Yeah, and he spoke about it. It wasn't as soon as the news or the rumor broke a month or so ago of him supposedly testing his value on the open market or potentially being released, and then he, after the game, when he got interviewed, said he hasn't heard anything. The club hasn't said anything to him, come to him and said anything, etc., etc. That confirmed to me that the classic method of a player getting released had been started. The process had been started, because it always goes that way. Someone leaks a bit of something, whether it be the club or the manager leaks a bit to either agitate for release or sort of not push someone out, but go, hey, this is probably the best scenario for you. He spoke with Townsend, I think it was on his podcast recently, last week maybe, and had said how they'd gone to, because the end of his contract was next year, he had next season with us, they'd gone to the Cowboys and wanted to say, hey, what's it looking like after 2027? And apparently Cowboys had said they're not willing to talk about it yet, which is pretty hard because, you want to set yourself up for the future. You want to take the opportunities you can. And he'd said, rightio then, well, if that's the case, and obviously you're not certain on me, you're not set on me, so that's as good as being told that you're not going to be signed, or was good enough to be told you're not going to be re-signed. So they'd asked if they could speak to other clubs, which Cowboys, we all heard that was the truth, that came out. He'd been granted permission to, and spoke to the Dragons, or maybe a couple clubs, but spoke to the Dragons and ended up to go with them. He said how he's got a good relationship with Dean Young, and he liked what he was talking about happening down there. So,
and the thing is, you'll probably find that most of the Cowboys will have a pretty good relationship with Youngie as well.
Yeah. That was that season. We did really well. Yeah,
he's a fantastic defensive coach, right? Yeah. We know that.
Yep.
He's one of the kings at defense. So
yep.
I think it makes a lot of sense that Drinky does go there. Val players, Dean Young. He's good mates with Gutho. Like,
yep.
There's just so much sense to go there.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's got a lot of stuff going for him still in Townsville, but I mean, end of the day,
yeah, and that's the thing too. Worth noting, he did say every single time, and he said he didn't want to leave. He loves the club. He didn't want to leave Townsville, but it's one of them things you not so much get pushed out, but if you want what's best for you, then you probably got to make the hard decision.
End of the day, it's a business.
Yeah, exactly right. With that though, we'll move on. Have a look at your try of the week for this fortnight, this round. What did you have?
Oh man, this week. It was a tough one this week because we had so many people putting on some bangers. Like, I mean, we could talk about Iro, we can talk about Teague, we can talk about
a lot of doubles.
There's a lot of doubles and a lot of hat tricks as well. But for me, especially the wingers this round were incredible. There was people putting balls in corners, one hand down, everything else in the air. It was pretty wacky. It was all over the place. But for me, the one that really took my heart was Braden Burns. The sleight of hand, the little cheeky dummy. He knew everyone was tired. Gets one over the side, gets one out of dummy half and goes to the side. It was just brilliant. It gives me warmth in the heart to see people with a good sleight of hand, and it's usually the halves that do it. But it's always good when either a hooker or a winger can get away with it. So good on you, Braden.
You do see one of those tries or similar ones to that, once every blue moon, maybe every couple months, something like that'll come off, and it's always the same scenario. The team's defeated. They're just waiting for the bell to ring, and Burns knew that was happening, so he took advantage of it.
Sewer was marking as well, so he knew he had him. He just had to throw the perfect dummy, and he bought it.
It's very reminiscent of when you're playing football at lunchtime, school lunchtime, and the one kid who he's
proper park footy.
He's going to play NRL one day, but the rest of the kids are just playing for something to do. It was good. It was good to watch.
It was funny, and props to him. Good on you, Braden.
Yep. With that, though, we'll jump on to the NRL Fantasy Buy of the Round or Buy of the Week. Now, you could probably hold off on this one, just maybe another round or two, just based on his break-even, but I'm going to go Josh Curran now. Josh Curran's starting on the edge with Kickow out. Sort of makes him a bit more interesting again for NRL Fantasy. He generally scores quite well when he's a starting edge. He does have dual position of edge and middle, so he's very versatile there. But the thing that draws him to me most is the fact he's only 332k. So if you're
steal.
Yeah, exactly. If you're someone like me who's been stuck with someone like Isaiah Papali'i the last couple of weeks, who also middle and edge, but just can't seem to pump out a decent score, so he's bleeding money, I think someone to jump off onto or someone to look at will probably be Josh Curran. Reason I say he can probably wait a week or two, though, his break even from the last time he had a good run is still pretty high. I think it's up around the 50s or 60s. Mind you, he did score a 57 this week in a losing side. I think maybe a week or two, that once that break even comes down, if you're worried about that, jump on him. It'll give you that time to look at him and just be certain he's going to score consistently as well, consistently the next couple of weeks. But yeah, maybe next week, if not this week. Josh Curran, 332k, pumped out of 57 this week, and I think 40s to 50s are on the table for the next couple of weeks as well. So definitely a worthwhile look there.
One to look up.
Yeah, yep. I think that's probably about it, though. We've touched on most of the major news, and there's been a fair bit of it the last fortnight since our last episode, so glad we got onto it all. I'm sure there'll be more within the next fortnight. We'll come back to you, not this Friday, but the following Friday with some results and tips and whatnot for the weekend ahead. But I think we're going to do a competition for our other podcast, Life at the Outpost. Do a competition for the Cowboys Dolphins Derby, which is coming up in a month, or maybe probably a month's time exactly at this point. So if you want to head over to the Instagram page there, Life at the Outpost podcast, have a listen to the podcast, or even just watch that. We'll have info on what to do there. It'll be something easy to go into the draw for, and could be getting 2 tickets in the Eastern Stand, our usual seats there, right 5-6 rows back from the field and just on the inside of the 50-metre line. So
prime.
Yeah, go have a look at that. But with that, I think that might be it for the week. Nothing else from you, was there, man?
No, that's good.
We will thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.